Welcome to The Functional Esthetician, a podcast where skin health meets whole body wellness. I'm Samantha Dunch, a licensed esthetician, owner of Skin Deep Aesthetics, author, and a doctor of functional medicine. My mission is to help you see the bigger picture because healthy skin starts from within. In each episode, we'll explore the gut-skin axis, hormones, nutrition, skincare, and wellness tools you can use to transform your skin. Welcome to the Functional Esthetician Podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Dench. Today, I am doing a solo episode because I want to talk about something I am seeing a lot online and on social media: perimenopause. If you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, and your skin or body suddenly feels like a stranger's, and maybe you've been told, oh, it's just normal aging, or it's just stress, or maybe your doctor dismissed you because your labs are quote-unquote normal, this episode is for you because there is a whole hormonal conversation happening underneath your skin's surface. And today, we're going to have it. Your hormones are shifting, and your skin is the first to tell you. The number one question I see on social media: why does my skin suddenly feel so different? I didn't change anything in my skincare routine. Here's what I see. You might not be experiencing any of the typical perimenopausal symptoms yet, but you're feeling it in your skin. Your skin might be feeling a bit drier than it used to. You might be experiencing some breakouts around your cycle. Fine lines might be popping up, or your skin texture suddenly feels rougher than usual. Part of the reason why this starts happening in your 30s, 40s, or 50s is because your hormones begin to shift. And when there is imbalance in the body, your skin is the first place it shows up. PubMed says the skin functions as an endocrine organ, with its cells both producing and responding to estrogen and other hormones, making it a key target for hormone regulation. Another question I get asked: why am I breaking out and dry at the same time? We associate breakouts with oily skin because that's what many of us dealt with as teenagers. In online surveys of perimenopausal women, 64% reported dry skin, 56% experienced itching, and 30% have developed acne or spots. Let's go a little deeper into this because this has to do with estrogen levels that begin to decline. Estrogen is responsible for holding water in the skin, along with stimulating oil glands, which keeps the skin's surface hydrated and prevents water from evaporating away from the skin. When estrogen levels decline, you begin to notice your skin feeling dry, with less oil production. Why are women dealing with acne at this stage? Perimenopause marks the slow decline of estrogen and progesterone. And with this decline, it means you now have more predominant testosterone. And I want to make something very clear. Testosterone doesn't tend to increase in women during perimenopause. It just becomes the more predominant hormone. And this may be why you notice acne flare-ups. These breakouts tend to be on the chin and jawline, and they are painful to touch. These are not typical acne breakouts. I consider these inflammatory because it's stemming from inside the body, so these should not be treated like traditional acne. The next question is about aging. I feel like I aged 10 years overnight. What happened? There are several factors that play into this. First, when you do hit menopause, you lose 30% of your collagen in the first 3 to 5 years. When you're in perimenopause, what most women don't realize is that insulin resistance and cortisol increase. I want you to also think about this. Both insulin and cortisol are hormones. And when we think of a hormonal fluctuation, we think of sex hormones. But when there's a shift in the body, it affects all of our hormones, including insulin and cortisol. Insulin resistance means the body's cells stop responding to insulin effectively, and this makes it harder to regulate blood sugar. And when this happens, your body begins to store fat. Insulin resistance is responsible for weight gain in your belly or that struggle to lose weight. It's also responsible for those midday crashes, feeling hangry, or unable to go long in between meals. Insulin resistance can also lead to a process called glycation. Glycation breaks down collagen and causes premature aging by speeding up the aging process. This happens when there is an increase of sugar in the body, triggered by insulin. Glycation can also lead to diabetes, heart disease, and neurological disease. So why does this happen? Estrogen is responsible for the body's anti-inflammatory effects. And when estrogen begins to decline, inflammation increases. And this increased inflammation does more than just raise insulin. It alters your gut microbiome. This can also lead to diabetes, gut dysbiosis, cardiovascular disease, and skin problems. Women in this stage also are struggling with cortisol spikes, which doesn't help your insulin levels. Cortisol is our stress regulator and responsible for energy. We can't function without cortisol. As we move into perimenopause, both estrogen and progesterone levels decline. Cortisol increases because inflammation goes up. Cortisol regulation becomes less resistance because of a decreasing progesterone. This can create anxiety or depression in women during this time, which is why many doctors will put you on an antidepressant. I want to remind you, you are not crazy. Because when mood disorders occur from changing hormones, women tend to blame themselves or think they're crazy. And I just want you to know you are not doing anything wrong. Your body is changing. Nobody's explained this to you. And it's affecting every system of your body. And this is not talked about enough. And nervous system healing is so crucial during this stage of life because your body cannot heal if it's in a state of stress. And high cortisol levels that are spiked due to decline in hormones, this can prevent healing. And then women go above and beyond. They restrict their diets and exercise like crazy. And then you get little to no results. So you become even more frustrated. And here's where this gets interesting. Because estrogen and progesterone are not the only hormones in this conversation. There's another hormone that rarely gets checked and almost never gets mentioned during perimenopause. And this could be the missing piece for a lot of you listening right now. Your thyroid. The thyroid is the missing piece in a lot of perimenopausal symptoms. So both the thyroid and hormones need to be addressed together. Now let's address the most frequently asked questions I get from clients. Could my thyroid be causing problems? My doctor said my labs are normal. I can't tell you how many times I look at blood work from a doctor, and the only thing that's checked is your TSH levels. TSH only tells us how the pituitary gland is signaling the thyroid. It doesn't show how well the thyroid is converting or how your thyroid hormones are working at the cellular level. Studies show 8 to 10% of perimenopausal women have thyroid dysfunction and autoimmune thyroid disease, especially Hashimoto's. This is triggered by hormonal transitions such as perimenopause. Often, autoimmune conditions have been hidden for a while, and that shift in hormones awakens your symptoms and your body begins to respond. But more importantly, this is all connected to your gut, specifically caused from leaky gut and gut dysbiosis. During perimenopause, your gut microbiome shifts. When you eat inflammatory foods, or even if you're eating well, this can lead to leaky gut or gut dysbiosis. Leaky gut means there are tears in your gut wall. So instead of food and nutrients passing through your intestines, everything seeps out into your body and creates inflammation. And left untreated, this inflammation can lead to autoimmune disease. Remember a few minutes ago I mentioned that estrogen maintains anti-inflammatory properties? Estrogen decline can lead to leaky gut because estrogen receptors in the gut lining keep it intact. Another reason I bring up the gut is about 20% of T3 to T4 conversion from your thyroid happens in the gut. Leaky gut and gut dysbiosis disrupt this process, leading to inflammation, which can cause your thyroid to dysfunction. Before we get to the next question, I want to touch on one last point. If you're having digestive issues, meaning women who don't poop daily, you are not only storing excess hormones and recycling them, but you're blocking your main drainage pathways. When the colon becomes blocked or sluggish due to constipation, your skin becomes the next path of detoxification. And this is why you might be noticing skin flare-ups like acne, rosacea, eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis. The gut and the skin communicate. The skin is usually the first signal of distress. This brings me to my next question. Why does my skin look dull and puffy even when I'm sleeping and eating well? Low thyroid slows down cell turnover and wound healing, which means the skin can't heal or renew itself correctly. Dull skin that no skincare products seem to fix or constantly puffy eyes are a sign your thyroid might need to be checked. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, how can my doctor miss this? Here's some common thyroid symptoms: fatigue, brain fog, weight gain, heat or cold intolerance, constipation, hair thinning or hair loss, irregular or skipped periods, heart palpitations or anxiety. You can't blame your doctor, especially your OB, because they are trained to look at sex hormones, not your thyroid. So what can you do to get some answers? This is where working with a functional medicine doctor is important, because we go beyond traditional blood panels. When a client comes to see me, I run a full metabolic, glucose, cardiovascular, blood, iron, complete thyroid panel that includes antibodies and inflammatory markers, because I want to know if there are any underlying health concerns we need to address. I also run a stool test to understand where your gut has imbalances, because this can also alter your hormones and thyroid, and most likely is why you might be having many of those perimenopausal symptoms. We've talked about estrogen, progesterone, and now the thyroid, but there's one more hormone that's quietly driving all of this, and most women blame it on stress. And stress is doing far more damage than you realize. They say stress can kill. That is a true statement. Stress does more damage than good, and it may be driving many of those symptoms you're dealing with. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. The body cannot heal if your nervous system is dysregulated. Stress causes nervous system dysregulation. So we are going to spend some time talking about this. Starting with the question many women ask, why does stress feel so much harder to handle now that I'm in my 40s and 50s? During perimenopause, declining estrogen can make the body more sensitive to cortisol, amplifying its effects. It's not that you're handling stress worse. It's that your hormonal safety net is thinner. Cortisol hits you differently now than it did in your 20s and 30s. Some experts call this the perimenopausal cortisol block. And this means the decline of estrogen and progesterone combined with chronic stress causes higher cortisol levels. The end result is excess belly fat, the battle to lose any weight, sleep disturbances, such as either trouble falling asleep or you can't stay asleep, or you wake unrested, anxiety, depression, mood disorders, and skin problems like acne, thinning skin, wrinkles that pop up overnight, and dullness. And I would love to tell you that the easiest way to stop this is to stop stressing. But that would be a lie, because I am also in this same space myself. This has been one of the most stressful years of my life. And over the past month, I have been feeling the effects of cortisol myself. And I'm seeing the weight gain in my belly, even though I've done nothing different diet-wise. I feel more exhausted than ever, and even though I sleep, I don't wake up feeling rested. And I'm not sharing this with you because I want you to feel sorry for me. I'm sharing this with you because even though I work with women daily and I help them feel better and overcome their health challenges, this doesn't mean I'm not immune to these issues myself. And maybe that's what helps me help them because I'm understanding what they're feeling and know what they're going through. As women, we are raised to do it all ourselves and constantly push through. And asking for help means we're weak. When we are young, our bodies are resilient and we can pull it off. We start our careers, we start our families, we're busy raising kids, we're busy running a household, and we're still having a social life. But once we hit our late 30s, 40s, and 50s, our body begins to change and our hormones shift, and that resilience runs out, and it leaves us feeling depleted, bloated, fat, frustrated, anxious, depressed, and exhausted. I don't know about you, but for me, doing simple tasks like laundry, vacuuming, or dishes some days feels like a major life event. And ladies, this is normal, and I want you to know that it's okay. You are okay, and we need to stop beating ourselves up. You are in a new space of life, and you have to accept this. And you have to take those breaks without feeling lazy or guilty because you are not lazy. Your body is just saying enough is enough. And sitting down to take a break is okay. And you deserve that time for you. And I want you to remember something. You sitting down and taking a break, that is self-care. Stress is real. I know firsthand because I've seen what stress can do to your health if you constantly fight it and push through it and never address it. I became a functional medicine practitioner because I kept seeing women in my treatment room who were doing everything right and still suffering because no one's connecting the dots for them. The skin and the body are never reacting because you're lazy or not taking care of yourself. Your skin and your body are a window. And once you learn how to read and understand why it's responding the way it does, everything changes. I'd like to end today's episode by answering the question you've been asking this entire episode. How do I actually fix this? I'm going to give you 3 things you can start with. Number 1, ask better questions. Ask your doctor for a full thyroid panel. And if your doctor won't run it, find someone like me who will. Not only do we look at your full thyroid panel, including antibodies, but we address gut health, nutrition, and lifestyle changes to help support you from the inside. Number 2, internal support. Blood sugar stability, anti-inflammatory foods, and sleep as a non-negotiable. Adjust your diet by eliminating prepackaged and processed foods. And if you don't know where to start with whole foods. Eat protein like red meat, fish, and chicken thighs. Cut out grains and use vegetables as your carbohydrates instead. Drink more water to keep your body hydrated. Stop drinking sugary drinks at coffee shops. Eliminate soda and energy drinks. These deplete your body of hydration and increase insulin, which you need to eliminate in order to fight that excess weight gain. When you work with me, I create customized nutrition and lifestyle plans that meet you where you are. As far as lifestyle, start walking daily instead of doing high-intensity workouts. Get outside and walk for 15 to 30 minutes a day. Try box breathing or breath work to reset your nervous system and regulate cortisol. Stop scrolling before bed. Instead, meditate or pop calming sleep music in your ears when you lie down in bed to get your body into a calm state. And start a nighttime routine that includes turning off your phone an hour before bed, which can prevent you from falling asleep. Number 3, adjust your skincare. Simple is key here. Start with a gentle cleanser and moisturizer morning and night. That's it. If you like serums, find a good blended serum and use 1 serum in the morning and 1 at night. I am always here to help make recommendations and help you simplify your routine. And just know, 10-step routines raise cortisol levels because they create stress by overwhelming you. Simple really does make a difference when it comes to your skincare. And trust me, I've been an esthetician for 23 years, And I have a very simple skincare routine, and it works. I want to close today by talking to someone specific. You know who you are. You've been Googling your symptoms at midnight. You've been to your doctor and told everything looks normal. You've bought the products, you've tried the routines, and you're looking in the mirror wondering what happened. That woman, she's the one I built my practice for. I work with women one-on-one, helping them connect the hormonal dots that nobody else has connected for them. I see clients in person and via telehealth, and this summer, I'm opening just 5 new client spots. I made that decision on purpose because my kids are home and I refuse to overextend myself, which means every woman I work with gets my full attention. But it also means that the spots fill up fast. And when those 5 spots are filled, that's it until August. The window for that closes May 31st. If something in today's episode cracked something open for you, or if you felt seen or heard for the first time in a while, please don't let that feeling pass. You can go on Instagram or TikTok and DM me at SkinDeepIL. I will drop the link to that in the show notes. We can talk and see if working together makes sense. You've been waiting for answers long enough, and I'd love to be the person who helps you find them. Thank you for listening. Today we talked about perimenopause, thyroid, and cortisol, and what shifting your hormones look like. We also focused on how the thyroid plays an important role in perimenopause and what you can do about it. We ended with stress and cortisol and why pausing and relaxing is the best thing you can do at this stage of life. Please head over to Instagram or TikTok and share one thing you loved about today's episode, or if you want to work with me this summer. Be sure to tune in next week to episode 31. We are talking about a new way to apply your skincare and makeup, plus the incredible benefits of lymphatic drainage. You don't want to miss this one. And always remember, you deserve to love the skin you're in. As estheticians, we have such a unique opportunity to not only care for the skin on the surface, but to guide our clients towards deeper wellness. If this episode gave you something to think about, share it with me on Instagram at SkinDeepIL. I look forward to connecting with you there. And if you enjoyed this conversation, subscribing and reviewing the podcast helps others find these conversations too. And always remember, you deserve to love the skin you're in.